What's up, YouTubey Tube? This is episode 3 of the maxed out GET engine. When I say that, I mean the Honda Ruckus engine that's found stock right off the showroom floor. We're maxing that puppy out. This is episode 3. If you haven't watched the other episodes, go back, check them out so you know what's going on. First, I'm going to show you exactly what we have going on here, what we've got in this engine. And I'm going to show you my little makeshift, I don't have a dyno, so this is how I tune. Check it. So let me show you. Here's the bike we were working with. If you remember this, if you watched episode 1 and 2. If not, you can go back. Link in the description. So I've got my wideband O2 sensor. This is a little project I've been working on. At some point I'll put this product out. So it's just a temporary thing. It clamps to the bars. Then the wire goes out and you plug into your trickle charger port. That's how you power it. And then this wire comes down. This is your O2 sensor here. And then I've drilled a hole in the exhaust. That'll sniff the exhaust. So what that does is, I put this here for just protection. What that does is it'll tell me exactly our air-fuel ratio. We want it to be between like 12.5 and 13.3. And so that's how we're going to dial that in. How are we going to dial that in? We don't have a computer set up, so our EFI system, hand controller set up, pretty fancy. You flip it on and I could tune it right there without a computer. I'll show you that in just a minute. Then we got the HOTLAP exhaust. This thing's pretty much punched out and tricked out as far as you can go as far as motor work goes. But let me show you exactly what we have inside this engine. So if you want to do the same thing, you can do it. And I'll put all the links down in the description. In the transmission, a lot of people do MET gears. We actually did Katako gears, which are very difficult to get. I'll link them down in the description if I can find them from a reliable source. But the gearing is geared up a lot higher than the Metropolitan gears. So I kind of laid out everything that we did to this engine. All of this stuff can be purchased. Link in the description. First off, we did a Bolo 58cc piston. It's like the big bore. You'll see those in that last video. I showed you how that went in. Not a walk in the park, but makes a huge difference. That's you don't think much of 8 cc's, but man, it makes a difference. I'll show you. It's 18% larger. Check it. The compression's a little bit less than the stock engine, but literally this thing takes off almost as fast as a GY6. Pretty crazy. To get that quick acceleration, we lighten the flywheel. Try to make it more like a 2-stroke. Less rotating mass is good. You'll spool the engine up better. So that's the idea here. You've got the lighten flywheel. If you noticed, the meat on each side has been taken off. So lighten flywheel. Then we've got a high angle camshaft. This actually weighs more than the stock cam, which is the reason is because it's got the taller lobes. So we installed that, but we lighten the valve train with the titanium valves. Those are super trick. So I recommend pairing these guys together, titanium valves with the high angle cam. Super trick. And then for the fuel system, we got our 20mm intake, 30mm filter side fuel injection system. A lot of guys are running the 20mm carburetor, which we actually sell too, which is nice. Although this is like the premium end of that. You get a low end bog on the 20mm carburetor, and there's only about 4 adjustment points on a 20mm carburetor. On this sucker, you're looking at about 30 adjustment points. So much more precise, but you're getting the same flow rate as the 20mm carburetor. So you can basically fine tune it a lot better. Here's the ECU and the throttle body on the plug and play fuel injection kit for the GET motor. Moving on to the ignition system, this is our EVI motor brain. That removes the rev limiter and advances the timing, resulting in much better top speed and better acceleration. And we completed it with an iridium spark plug. That's the ignition end of things. CVT. This bike actually does not have the Reveno in it, but I did do some testing and the results were a little bit better. So I recommend the Reveno clutch, although the clutch that's in it right now is the HIT Dr. Pulley clutch. I spent about 8 hours tuning that sucker. This thing is way easier to tune. So we left the HIT clutch in, but I recommend the Reveno for the big bore GET motor. A lot better. Then we've got our lighten flywheel. This was lighter If you watch the previous videos, I weigh the two. This is lighter than the stock variator that is trimmed down to be lightened. We got 5.5 gram Dr. Pulley sliders. This is actually a kit on our website, link in the description. And then the Teflon coated variator. So Teflon is used for, you know, debris doesn't stick to it, kind of like a cooking pan. And it's got a lot more action, so you can have a higher top speed, and it's lighter. So this is everything in a nutshell that is in the bike. Let me show you how it runs. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention this little valve cover. We don't have this on the bike, but I'm going to run this on the next 58cc. This is super trick. Right now we got the VTEC cover on there. You've seen that in the last episode. This is the FLP radiator cap and valve cover billet. It's pretty sweet. Just thought I'd throw that in there. So this is what to expect out of the fuel injection system on a cold start. This hasn't been started today, so we got our little super trick start button. There. Still cold. Revs up immediately, doesn't die, as if in a carburetor probably would die. We're super rich right now just because it's on the choke. There's a couple different tunes in this. Once it hits 140 degrees, that tune will turn off, like the choke tune. So that's what's going on there. We'll let this sucker warm up, and then we'll go tuning. We're going to be tuning with this unit right here. This is the base tune. This is what to expect right out of the box. So this thing accelerates pretty good. Keep in mind, with all of these modifications, we can't change the fact that we're in Denver, Colorado, a mile above sea level, about 6,000 feet, 5,280 feet. We lose 20% of our power up here. So here we go. Here's our GPS. Here's our normal gauge. We're at 35 now. We're on a flat right now, so 40. 45. 45 on the flat. Then we'll go down a hill here. 46. 50. 49 actually. I jumped the gun a little. Now let's see what it's like going up the hill. You literally won't get this much oomph out of a stock Ruckus or anything added unless you do that big bore. Goes up the hill about 36 miles an hour. Pretty decent. On the flat again, 42. You already know how fast it goes on the flat. So you can just cruise or dump it. Fuel injection system smooth. So with the 20mm carburetor, doing things like this, you'll get a bog. I got my co-pilot, T. She's on the 58cc. I'm on the GY6 171. Let's do a comparison on the Takeoff. This thing's super impressive, and I just want to show you how impressive it really is. Let's do it. All right, T, you ready for this? Ready. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't do bad at all. So as you can see, T is a loser, but man,
Cool.
it was freaking close. I was on the takeoff. I mean, not that close, but we're comparing 58 cc's to 171 cc's. Like, that thing is impressive. Now, top speed is around 50. The GY6 171, top speed around 65, 60, somewhere around there. This 58 cc built to the max Ruckus is about to go back to North Carolina today, shipping out from here in Denver. Keep in mind, I'm going to show you some numbers. Keep in mind, we are a mile above sea level. We lose 20% of power up here. So, with that said, right now our top speed is about 50 miles per hour. The reason why I'm not higher on this is because I'm using a special torque belt. We got a lot of low end power. We're not looking for max top speed. If I run the stock belt, I'm looking at like 54 miles per hour. And then if I run the Reveno clutch with the stock belt, we're looking at 56 miles per hour. So the setup that we're running right now, in my opinion, is the best setup. I've spent hours tuning, trying different clutches, different variants, different belts, this, that, the other, and the 50 mile an hour top speed, the low end torque, everything meshes just perfect. If I put the larger belt in, yeah, we can achieve a higher top speed, but the low end going up hills and things goes to crap. So that's the way we like it, and I can't wait to see what he thinks of this thing once he gets the magical sea level. Finally, these suckers are going home. We got the 58cc max build. This is the one we're doing now. Then we got the Grom clone. The Grom clone was like a Chinese knockoff of the Grom. We converted everything over to even better than the Honda Grom, in my opinion. There's a whole build series for that. Then we got the trike, the Chuckus trike, Chinese knockoff of a Ruckus trike. There's not really a Ruckus trike, but whole build series for that. Old man Burton just test rode all the hot rods. What do you think? Do I get a gold star?
All three of them was the best. They ride good. Hate to see them leave.
I'm ready for them to leave. I'm ready for them to go. They've been stored over here at my parents' house. They're going back to North Carolina. We're just waiting for the shipping company now. And make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like button, go to Instagram, follow us on Instagram. We post about it every day. We'll see you in the next video.